Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to say call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Send double honor to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone. I send much peace, love, salutations to Yakim out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and sincerity and truth. It's the brother Ariella. And this is going to be a response video to a lesson that the apostle Tahar put up called These Two Are Gone. He responded, 9 Israelites receive salvation, says Genesis. And we've been seeing these type of trends of people that fall out, over the course of the time that we've been here since '07. And so this thing that's happening with Hakai and Hassad is nothing new that we've seen before, of people pretty much following out the truth and just going wayward with the doctrine. This one is a little bit peculiar because when you get the backstory of how this basically was presented to everyone, you have Vocab Malone running around trying to promote a debate between this group Genesis and ISUPK, Al-Azhar. And when you watch some of the presentation and how it's presented, it's got Edomite stench all over it. It literally feels like a PowerPoint presentation or a template presentation was given to Hassad or Hakkah, and they were paid to, put an Israelite twist to it and to present it. It seems very peculiar because it's just so bland and without spirit and whack and corny of a breakdown. I'm gonna play a piece of this lesson that the apostle did, and some of the things that you're gonna hear from Assad is just like I literally, my mind was like, whoa, 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 whoa. He might be a tear. He might actually be a tear. I mean, just the level of corny. And he's really thinking he's making these valid, strong points that are just non-defendable. And they're just corny. And this shows you what happens when the spirit has been taken away from a man. Which I don't believe these guys have the spirit at all anyway. They were always corny to me. But now people get to see what happens over time as the Most High abundantly takes the spirit from you. Okay? And because they're really in their mind thinking, yeah, well, come debate us. Man, there's nothing to debate. So now they're on this whole campaign of the nations, the other nations can be saved, which that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. They can be saved. Okay, which they never really defined salvation, and for them, they said being escaping the destruction of the nuclear destruction, and being a vassal to the nation of Israel means you're going to be saved. Hey, dumbass! The scriptures already said that was going to happen. That doesn't mean when you're a vassal to someone, that is not salvation. That is servitude. That is captivity. I mean, these guys make the most dumb, asinine statements and try to rearrange it like white people. That's exactly what Edomites do. Make these semantical BS arguments that don't even make sense. Being a vassal or slave to another nation, we were a vassal. Judea was a vassal to Rome. We were not saved. We were in captivity. Same way we were in the Persian Empire. What are you talking about? Just stupid ass arguments, man. I'm going to play this. You know what? I'm going to read this first. This is in Isaiah 60 and 9. I got it in the NLT. Oh, boy. And for the people who are actually listening to these people, what's wrong with you? But go ahead. Whatever. Future glory for Jerusalem is the title of this scripture. It says, arise, Jerusalem, let your light... we already read that scripture. We already know that scripture. You don't think we know that scripture? That's something that Asad would say. You need to learn again. You low-level monkey. Arise, Jerusalem, let your light shine for all to see. For the glory of the Lord rises to shine on you. Not the other nations. The glory of the Lord is not rising. So, and I will... we'll get to that. For the glory of the Lord rises to shine on you. Darkness as black as night covers all the nations of the earth. But the glory of the Lord rises and appears over you. All nations will come to your light. Mighty kings will come to see your radiance. Look and see, for everyone is coming home. Your sons are coming from distant lands. Your little daughters will be carried home. Your eyes will shine, and your heart will thrill with joy. For merchants from around the world will come to you, right? They will bring you the wealth of many lands. Vast caravans of camels will converge on you. The camels of Madan and Ephah, the people of Sheba, will bring gold and frankincense. They will come worshiping the Lord. They're going to recognize, just like we read in the Old Testament when we left out of Egypt and it was evident that the Heavenly Father, the God of Israel, was beating everybody's ass. The other nations that were fearful, they started to praise Yahweh. That doesn't mean that they were just welcomed and they had some special place of salvation. The other nations will worship Yahweh Yahweh Shai in the kingdom. Okay? That's going to be the gold standard. Ain't going to be no idol worship going on, bro. That don't mean that they are part of this. There was always acknowledgments from the other nations of Yahweh. There was acknowledgments of Yahweh Shai by Romans. That don't mean that they are part of this. The flocks of Kedar will be given to you. The rams of Nabaoth will be brought from my altars. I will accept their offerings and will make my temple glorious. See, we'll accept ours and make the temple glorious. And what do I see flying like clouds to Israel, like doves to their nests? They are ships from the ends of the earth, from lands that trust in me, led by the great ships of Tarshish. They are bringing the people of Israel home from far away, carrying their silver and gold. They will honor the Lord your power, the Holy One of Israel, for he has filled you with splendor. Foreigners will come to rebuild your towns, and their kings will serve you. For though I have destroyed you in my anger, I will now have mercy on you through my grace. Why? Because for his holy name's sake, he put his name on the nation of Israel. So he's going to have mercy for his holy name's sake. That's why he had Yahweh Shai spill his blood as a cleansing for the nation of Israel, not the other nations. Right? It's like having a dog, these other nations. Like you have a favorite pet dog. And because the pet dog comes along, he ain't in this. It says, your gates will stay open day and night to receive the wealth of many lands. The kings of the world will be led as captives in a victory procession. For the nations that refuse to serve you will be destroyed. Okay, point blank period. These nations will serve as vassals in a captivity type state, not as being saved. Other nations have to live so we can rule over them. Everybody can't die, bro. That don't mean that they saved. We always say the heathens will be in the kingdom, serving and working. Well, you gonna have a heathen in your land, nigga, so he can do the work. I ain't finna do it. What the fuck you think we got brought over here on cargo slave ships for? To serve. What you think these nations gonna do? Serve, man. And now they're trying to ranking class slaves. There was always ranking class in slaves. You have hard grunt. You had house Negroes. You had field Negroes. You had motherfuckers in the house playing the flute and shit that lived a little bit better of a life comparatively than a nigga out there in the field chopping beans and cotton. But they all were slaves. I mean, the argument that this guy Hassan makes is just asinine, idiot, lunacy. You know? I'm in the house and I wash the floors. I'm better than that. He breaking rocks. That's hardcore slavery. Shut your bitch ass up. These guys are idiots. You know, you guys that listen to them, shame on you. But yeah, man, being a vassal is not salvation. being sovereign And having power with Yahweh Shem Yahushua is salvation. Being taken up in the chariots and having those new bodies is salvation. Apostle Hall talks about that in this lesson. I'm going to play a little bit.
Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries. Yeah. See, that's the key word: enemies and adversaries.
Edomite argument.
We wanted them.
They're all our adversaries, whether they want to be or not. Whether they're trying to do the right thing or not. They're all our enemies.
Them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Yep. The enemies are going to get it. So we do not deny these scriptures and others like them. However, every individual from the nations is not our enemy.
Yes, every individual from a nation is our enemy, man. Like if a Edomite helps me change my flat tire, now he's not my enemy. Well, he helped you change your flat tire, so he's going to be safe from the missiles. Jesus bless him. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. It's like we all went into captivity. We all suffered the curses. Was every single Israelite worshiping idols? No. But we went down as a nation. Every Israelite wasn't worshiping idols, man. But in general, what we were going off, we broke the covenant. So we paid as a nation. These nations are going to pay together. When you read it here in Psalms 83:1, it says, "Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh Shem Yahushua. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones." Now, the crafty counsel, is that coming from every single person in that nation, or is it coming from the chiefs and the rulers of those nations? It's coming from the top elites. But the whole nation, all the nation is going to get taken down, bro. They have said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them, and they have hope in the children of Lot, Selah." Bro, these are all considered enemies. "Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as in Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zaib, yea, all of their princes as Zabah and Zamuna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of the Most High in possession." Right? So, you read this, it talks about persecuting them, killing them, destroying their enemies, and he lists out all of these nations. Yes. You ain't even that. The Most High is not finna just, the whole nation is gonna go down, man. It's ridiculous.
Let's take it here. Go ahead.
They're all our enemies, all right? We're all over them. Okay, whether not all the nations put us in captivity either. The major nations did. Not every single nation put us in captivity.
Yeah, because the Japheths put us into captivity, but they still gonna serve. They still gonna be underneath Israel.
But guess what? They're gonna all be under us.
Yeah, I would, and you guys have to pay attention. If not, so be it. And some of y'all are just not going to get it, and it is what it is. But again, I'm going to reiterate this. We took this position and debated a bunch of people in regards to it.
Now listen to this dumbass shit he's about to say. So white, Edomite. We took this position. We know it better than you. No, you don't.
So we know the position more than everyone that's watching this. For you guys that are watching this, I just have to say this objectively. Remind yourself who you're talking to.
Oh man, this dude, man, and his pride is disgusting. I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. Objectively, that's not objective. You're an idiot. You're a smart dummy. These are what I call smart dummies. Okay? They sound smart and articulate, and they've learned a few words here and there. But when it comes to comprehensively understanding the scriptures and the spirit, they have no understanding. And just because you've made a debate and you've done a debate a few times doesn't make you an expert at any type of topic. All right? You're a useless eater and you don't understand the scriptures. This is why you make these dumbass, asinine points. You know? And the fact that you're so proud to say you know this topic the best is absolutely hilarious to me. That's what Vocab told you when he sent you this PDF to do this dumbass lesson.
Talking about. I just got to say that. I have to be totally honest.
No, you're right.
Now,
You're right.
Again, I'm just being honest. We've
been called the debate. We got a debate demon, so we can't step on these niggas during this.
Yeah, you guys are two debate demons.
But we will.
And you got your followers too. You got your followers. You got your own pack of zombies too.
Don't want to. We rather build. Go ahead, brother.
So again, we took the position, Deuteronomy 30:7. All the curses come upon your enemies. See, that means they all got to get it. Jeremiah 30:16. All your adversaries. That means they all got to get it. But notice it said adversaries. It said enemies. Is every single Gentile on the planet Earth?
Yes, they are.
An enemy of the Israelites? Is that what the Bible teaches? Y'all say y'all believe in the Bible. Let's read what the Bible says. Let's get to the next slide. Watch this.
All of them are enemies because they're beneath us. Okay? Not all nations, or every single nation out there put us in the hardcore captivity.
Right now, these people are our enemies. These people are not uplifting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans as the true children of Israel and forwarding that. They're not forwarding the names of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And you guys can go and try to hog tie a fucking Moabite and tell them, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And you can try to find one or two. But that's not going to make Moab not our enemy in general, bro. These nations are not here for us. Everywhere you go across the world, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American is a byword and a proverb to these people and talked down upon, man. You're not looked up and heralded as shit as far as being the God's chosen people in this earth today. These people are our enemies. The only reason why they're going to get in shape is when the Most High start beating the crap out of everybody and they wake up and realize, oh, man, God is with them. That's what happened when we left out of Egypt. That's why we had hangers-ons. That's why when we went into the land of Canaan, Rahab shut her ass up and because she already knew what was going down. Because hoes understand when it's time to switch sides. They understand power. So she was like, yeah. She knew what was about to go down because she heard the stories. And the scriptures tell you that we heard about y'all. Y'all killing their damn body. I don't want to die. Shit. She was smart. That don't mean that she's a part of the dang salvation. And when the Lord comes back, what's wrong? What in the Edomite thinking is going on? Did y'all take the vaccine? What is going on, man? These nations are our enemies. Nobody's looking for the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American to rise up and rule and being like, yeah, them. These other nations ain't for us, man. These people, boy, crazy.
Captivity for a period of time. Moab did it. Egypt did it. The Romans did it. The Babylon. But these other nations, these small, less insignificant nations that didn't put us in actual slavery because they didn't have the power to, they're still going to be under us.
Well, no, this is it.
Believe in the Bible or don't. Go believe in the Quran if that's what you want to believe. Watch this.
Let me read this real quick. If all nations are our enemies in totality, then why are they allowed to live in our land? Mm-hmm. What type of ethno-religion?
To fucking serve, dumbass.
This group of people have a moral codified compass that allows their enemies to live in their land.
Yeah.
Let's go to.
Either these guys are totally bugged out or they sold out. You choose.
some
I think it's a combination of both, Apostle. I think it's a combination of both.
examples. Go ahead.
2 Samuel 11 and 11. Uriah the Hittite. Question, everybody. Was Uriah the Hittite our...
You know when somebody says something so stupid, it makes you speechless? That's what these dudes be doing, man. This dude was finna say Uriah the Hittite was a bro. That's where he lived. That's where he was from. He's an Israelite. The fact that you don't know that is crazy to me.
Or enemy? Uriah the Hittite refused to break the law of war and David's commands. Look what he says. The ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents. Shall I then go into my house to eat and drink and to lie with
Uriah is an Israelite, dumbass.
my wife? I will not do this thing. King David said, hey man, just go home, and gave him a gift. And
Bathsheba is an Israelite, dumbass.
invited them in to drink. Are we going to say that Uriah the Hittite, who was in God's army,
Yahweh's army.
must remind themselves that Israel is God's army. Uriah was a
He was in David's army.
ranking individual in that army. You're telling me that someone in God's army is an enemy to God's people? How stupid does that sound?
Uriah was an Israelite.
I just have to call a spade a spade, call a spade a spade. That sounds stupid. Ruth 1 and 16, it says, your people shall be my people.
You're gonna have that. You're gonna have these other nations that basically that worship Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And they're gonna be concubines and marry and have marriages and everything like that. Okay? That doesn't mean they're gonna receive of the promises of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. There is definitely a dynamic a system of things that's going on, but what the Most High promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is never going to be broken. The salvation that you're talking about, the end time salvation of Yahweh Shai's return, is exclusive to the Israelites. All the other nations that survive and are here afterwards are going to be in a subordinate servitude type place. That does not equal salvation. Okay? They're going to be immediately in a whole nother tier of lower class. Being a vassal to the nation of Israel is not salvation. Now, are these nations going to benefit from our rule because we're going to rule in righteousness? Absolutely. There's going to be no war. There's going to be a lot more peace on the earth. Things are going to operate after things get cleaned up. But that's not salvation. And to teach that is dumb. It's dumb because now you have to start talking about their rights as far as being joint heirs with Yahushua, the new bodies, levels of authority within the government of the nation of Israel, which we know they're not represented. You can go into the scriptures and find different accounts of heathens helping out Israelites. That don't mean they getting salvation. Like I said, man, let me keep playing.
And your
Ruth is a Moabite. She's going into slavery.
God, my God, was she an enemy of our people? She said that she will become our people. Now, did she literally change her ethnicity? Obviously not.
We had pacts during the time before the Babylonian Empire came through. We had pacts with Egypt. We had pacts with the other nations. We were dealing and trading with them. Shit, we were dealing and trading with Esau. What the fuck are y'all talking about, man? We always have merchant relationships and different pacts and relationships with the nations round about, man. So there has to be some type of friendly dialogue. That don't mean that when the Lord comes back that they going to be saved with us. What are you talking about? Y'all going to find these individual people here and there in the scriptures and try to equate that to the whole nations being saved? See, the logic is asinine and ridiculous. You know? It's just stupid. It don't even make sense. I don't see how you guys are... Anyway, this is the book of Psalms 149 and 5. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, We're not saying that we're not going to punish them. We're not saying that. We're saying that somebody helps you change your tire, and he gave you some food when you were hungry, and he opened the door to let you get away from getting a chip. He's going to be saved. How are he going to be saved? When the missiles come here in America, how is the heathen going to be saved? They're going to get it. They're going to, because the scriptures talk about us going into the ships and escaping the destruction. So we're going to be sitting there, and a random Egyptian dude going to be right there. Dude that, I got this dude named Hadi who works on my car. Hadi, cool dude, cool in the mug, bro. Been working on my car for over 10 years. My cars. He was Mr. Lee. He calls me by my brother name because we twins. He don't even realize we twins. He still think we're the same person to this day. How are you? Because he was so good to me over all these years. Let me get back and forth. With that car, I was able to go to camp and I was able to minister and teach the word because of Hadi helping me, keeping my car going. Hadi gonna be there on the chariot. Mr. Lee, hey. He gonna be in the chariot with all the brothers that was out there preaching his word. Oh no, they gonna have to believe in the name and say the name. You best believe these people gonna want to say the name when they see this destruction start happening, man. That ain't gonna get them on the chariot, bro. Right? It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. Look, man, these other nations ain't getting on the chariots, man. They're not going to be saved out of here. These are the other people that survive around the world, which there's going to be other places around the world that get jacked up too. These other places, the other heathens that survive here and there, they're going to be rounded up, put back in their place, and told what the hell to do to build everything back up. They're going to have to get to work. They're going to be captives. Okay? Captives. Point blank, period. People crazy as hell.
But her joining unto us illustrates that she is not
She's going to come back as a concubine.
an enemy of our people, despite the fact that the Moabites in general are our enemies.
Right.
Pretty simple.
The Moabites in general are our enemies. That's all that matters, man. The Moabites they are our enemies, man. There was individual Israelites that were not worshiping other idols, but they still got their ass taken into captivity. Did not Daniel go into captivity? You had righteous men that wasn't going off doing what they were supposed to do, went into captivity, man. Following the law, wasn't worshiping idols, went into captivity. These other nations are going into captivity, bro. Y'all already read it that those curses won't go upon the other nations.
She rejected her God. She embraced the Most High.
Rahab the harlot, she's going into captivity. She's going to be a concubine.
Why did the Most High treat her like she was an enemy of our people then? Jeremiah 38:7. Oh my God, I can't wait for someone to try to address this. Jeremiah 38:7.
Bro, he really think he's finna say something deep. I can't wait till somebody tries to address this. Just wait.
But Abed-Melech. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. Let me slow down. I'm willing to bet that 99% of y'all have no idea who this even is. I'm willing to bet that 99% of y'all have probably never even read this chapter in Jeremiah.
This dude might be a terror, bro. I mean, no one's even read it. Oh, shut up. Oh, like a little kid when they learn something new, they think that nobody else knows it but them. I always tell the story. My son, when he was little, he finally started learning 2 plus 2 and 3 plus 3. He really was talking to me like I didn't know what the hell 2 plus 2. What's 2 plus 2? Dad, what's 3 read. What? That's how these little boys are with the scriptures, man. I bet you never read this before. Do you see how low level these guys are? That's why I don't watch these dudes' videos. I don't normally respond to it. I don't do responses to these guys' stuff like that because they're low level. We've been telling y'all for over 10 years that these dudes wasn't shit. Now everybody's making a whole fluff about this. I watched this video from Apostle Hart. I made a decision to respond to it because it was just ridiculous that this is even a back and forth. It's so low level to me. He's going to read this scripture about a guy that was nice to Jeremiah and try to juxtaposition that to, he was not our enemy here. Knowing damn well in your daily life you have random ass heathens that do good stuff to you and help you out and shit. That don't mean that they gonna be saved, man. Most I just put the spirit on them to do it. It's not that deep, bro. The apostles tell a story about when they had went to jail one time back during the time of 9/11. And it was a Edomite so-called Jew that helped them get out of that situation, man. It was an Amalekite. That don't mean he gonna be saved, man. Shoot, Pontius Pilate was just like, what the hell y'all mad at this Yahushua for? This is a dumb Edomite argument.
38 and 7. But Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, this is a Cushite, an important court official, heard that Jeremiah was in the cistern. They threw him in a pit. At that time, the king was holding court at the Benjamin Gate. So Ebed-Melech rushed from the palace to speak with him. My lord, the king, he said, these men have done a very evil thing in putting Jeremiah the prophet into the cistern. He called out, he said, hey man, it's wrong that what they're doing to Jeremiah. He will soon die of hunger, for almost all the bread in the city is gone. He said, hold on, we got to do something. We got to help Jeremiah. He's about to die. Are we going to say this guy's our enemy? There's more to it though. It gets even worse. Well, it gets even better if you believe in the Bible. Let's get the next slide.
If he's an actual Cushite, he's going into captivity.
Point blank, period.
So now the very next chapter, verse 15. The word of the Lord. Here comes God. Here's what God says. The word of God came to Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the guard. Go and say to Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian, go tell this Cushite, go tell this non-Israelite, thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Behold, I will fulfill my words against this city for harm, and not for good. And they shall be accomplished before you on that day. But I will deliver you on that day. God said he's going to deliver this non-Israelite, declares the Lord. And you shall not be given into the hands of the men of whom you are afraid. Hold on, don't we always say that salvation is being delivered from the hand?
That's not talking about the salvation that the Most High is going to bring.
Bro, how are you going to say that this salvation of him and the salvation of the Lord, are you trying to literally equate those two things? That's exactly what an Edomite would do.
He's going to watch over this man, even though because he's doing a good act. Remember, the Good Samaritan was of another nation.
And your enemies? And
it said make friends with the mammon of this world. That means you got to be cool. I have a mechanic. He's an Edomite, but he might be a Jake because the way he talks.
Yeah. See,
but he looked like an Edomite. That man, my car act up. I take it to him. I don't even ask how much. I said, just don't even worry about it because I know you're gonna treat me right.
So yeah, he got a mechanic that's an Edomite that he trusts. So that Edomite gonna be on the chariot. He gonna be saved out of Babylon the Great when it's destroyed. Stop it.
And he has.
Get some help.
God delivering this.
But if he's an Edomite, he's going into captivity.
Ethiopian from the hand of his enemies. Then look what God says. See, this is what the Bible says. You can just believe it or not. Look what he says in verse 18. For I will surely save you. For I will surely save you. God says to a non-Israelite, I will surely save you. What do you do with that? Do you just rip it out of the Bible? Do you just?
Yeah, he's not going to be saved in the ship. He's not going to be beamed. It's not talking about being beamed up in the ship.
Exactly.
It's talking about the Most High is going. When you read, what is this? Josiah, when he got involved in a war between, correct me if I'm wrong, Assyria and Egypt, and the Most High said, I went through this story the other day, but I'm not going to give you the whole account. But the Most High told a man of the Lord to tell him, don't involve yourself in this. I want this to go down this way. So he involved himself in that war between those two heathen nations, and he disguised himself and he wound up getting killed. Cyrus, he was the one that.
Boom, I want to get this real quick while Apostle's saying that. Jeremiah 3. I pulled up 2, but it's 3 and 23. It says, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Talking about different governments. Truly is salvation hope. In vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our power is the salvation of Israel. So these other nations, these other governments hoping for salvation, it's vain. You can try to make and find these different asinine accounts of individuals in different nations doing something nice to an Israelite. That has nothing to do with the overall salvation for their nation. That has nothing to do with the salvation when the destruction comes, when Armageddon comes, of the nation of Israel for the elect. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. And these guys trying to equate those two things are just weird. It's weird, man. You know? All right, Revelation 18 and 4 says, and I heard a voice from heaven saying, come out of her. This is talking about come out of Babylon the Great. When we get saved up out of here. Come out of her, my people. Now, when it talks about my people, it ain't talking about everybody, man. It's talking about those chosen of the nation of Israel. That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Right? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. And as you read, it talks about how the place is going to be absolutely destroyed. Those are those plagues that are going to destroy America. And we're going to have to be saved out of here through the Lord. Point blank, period. And the other nations have no part of that promise of salvation and transition into the fullness of the new covenant, into the new covenant, man. The other nations ain't a part of that. Go on and try to find where an Ethiopian did something nice, or someone helped the Israelite in the Old Testament or in the New Testament. Does not make that nation not our enemies. Does not make the judgment that's going to happen to them overall not our enemies. Does not mean that individual is not going to be a captive in the kingdom. They will be a captive. They will be subservient. They will be underneath. Y'all trying to say, well, he's not going to be in hardcore captivity. He's going to be a house Negro. He's still a slave. Still a slave. Isaiah 61 and 1, it says, the Spirit of the Lord power is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings among the meek, and have sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, right? It says to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our power, right? To comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, and the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. So the nation of Israel, that's going to be the pillars of the temple, are going to be like trees of righteousness, representing what the Most High's will what the Most High wants on the planet Earth. And the other nations are going to have to come unto that to get instructions on what needs to go down for the planet Earth and the universe to flourish. They will all be subservient to the nation of Israel. It will be a theocratic rulership, divine rulership. The other nations are not going to have any part of that. That's the salvation. The salvation is getting up out of here, bro, and being changed, being put into those new bodies. They ain't got no part of that, bro. There's going to be other nations that survive the Armageddon. Why? We need slaves. We're going to have people rebuilding everything. Right? It says, and they shall build the old waste, and they shall, they act like, okay, there's somebody that's sitting on a dock in America. When the missiles come, they get on a boat, and they, as the bombs are dropping, they driving away, the mushroom clouds in the background, driving away in the water, they headed to Cuba or whatever. And whoo, man, the Most High saved them. No, they gonna get their ass rounded up and go into captivity. You're going to have some of the elites escape the destruction, go into bunkers. And what's going to happen? They're going to get their ass rounded up and taken straight into captivity. Okay? I don't care how many cookies they handed out to a little Negro baby. It don't matter. It don't matter. Okay? I mean, this argument is so stupid. You know, so dumb. It says, to appoint them that mourn at Zion, to give unto them beautiful ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. And they shall build the old wastes. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. They're going to be your slaves. And ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Men shall call you the ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles. And in their glory shall ye boast yourselves. We're going to be taking their resources. You know how Esau takes all the resources of the world now and controls every damn thing? Well, we're going to be in that position, but we're going to rule in righteousness. For your shame ye shall have double, and for confusion ye shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double, everlasting joy shall be unto them. Okay? For I, the Lord, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offerings, and I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them, and their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, and they shall that they are the seed which the Lord hath blessed. The other nations are not going to get that. Okay, that recognition. We're not saying that. Yes, you are. When you're saying that they can be saved, you're saying that they come underneath the glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's what you're saying. Being a vassal state and serving the nation of Israel is not being saved. That's exactly, the scriptures literally tell you that's what they're going to do. That means you're in captivity to us. That's what they're saying. That's why they're saying that. Right now, these other nations don't want you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to recognize yourself as a true nation of Israel. They hate you. They hate you, bro. Like Anakin Skywalker. I hate you. They don't like you. Okay? And just because they do something nice for your ass every now and then don't mean that they can be saved, man. What's that? Job 20. Let's go to that. Read that. Dun, 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 dun. A couple more scriptures, we'll be done. This is Job 20 and 5. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Right? Well, you start at 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. And that makes me think, okay, so people be saying, who are the sons of the wicked still Edomites? Hassad? Smart dummy? Okay. What's going to happen to the nation of Esau? Are they going to be done away with? Or are some of them going to be saved? Right? It says, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor. See? His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. See, his bones are still filled with the sins of his youth, like it talks about in Sirach. The children shall complain of an ungodly father. And that's why you have these white Karens that be out here trying to fight for so-called Negro and Latino rights. That's not fair how you treat these young black men. And they be going hard too. That nappy hair, that stinky nappy hair. The flip-flops, the one with the go over there with that one big toe with the chippy toenail paint. They be out there fighting hard as hell for you so-called Negroes, man. Cargo pants. Okay? They going into captivity, man. They all going into captivity. Yes, they are our enemy. These nations are our enemy, man. We'll play a little bit more and see if there's some more on this.
Signed off the fact that they got money, the monies to build the temple back. Does that mean he's going to get saved? No. He's going to be underclass. He's not going to be an Israelite.
Just keep reading and pretend it didn't say what it just said. For I will surely save you, and you shall not fall by the sword, but you shall have your life as a prize of war, because you have put your trust in me, declares the Lord. That guy's our enemy.
All these nations are going to have to put their trust in Yahweh Shemel Shai, especially when we get that power. All of them.
If he was our enemy.
And I'm telling you right now, everybody that's been hearing this and listening to our lessons, when all hell breaks loose, especially when that chip come, people are going to start being like, y'all were right. What's his name again? What's that mean? And they still going to get their ass wiped out. Okay? All of these nations are going to be subordinate to the nation of Israel and the kingdom. They're going to all be captives. They're all going to be slaves. Whatever tier class slave you want to try to create in your Edomite mind, Hassad. Well, it's not hardcore slavery. That's actually pretty good. Don't you think? Shut your dumb ass up.
Why didn't he?
When he comes back, he's coming back as a slave. He's going to be under us. He's not going to be sitting inside. We didn't say we're going to beat the hell out of every nation every day. You're going to call me, hey, Tor, what you doing? Oh, I'm just beating the hell out of another Edomite. I'm gonna be beating his ass for the next 3 hours. And what you going to do after that? I'm going to get this Elamite. I don't like the way he looked at me. So
yeah, we're going to have a functioning kingdom, man. People are going to be in their places doing their work, doing their jobs, man. We're going to be operating, administrating on the planet Earth. You need to do that. This is how we're going to fix the waters. We're going to fix the air. We're going to fix the land. We're going to fix these crops. We're going to move that over there. You want to know what the hell are you doing? Don't do that. We're going to be directing and leading the earth, man. You act like every single day we just gonna walk outside of our chariot and just grab up a heathen and just start punching them in the face. You know?
So I'm gonna beat the shit out of him for an hour and a half. And what you gonna do after that? Oh, this Moabite. I don't like this. I don't like the way this Moabite cooked. Wash my clothes. I'm gonna beat his ass for 5 hours. Then I'm gonna go to sleep. Then the next day I got more ass. No, it's not gonna be like that. Well, you're not just gonna hear people beating the shit out of people and chopping them up.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah. So these different questions that they're raising are just simple-minded questions of debate demons that with a Edomite twist. I don't know these guys. Oh my gosh, bro. But anyway, man, I just wanted to respond to that and make a point on that. These dudes are low level. They need to go back and drink the milk, but they're done. They're cooked. If you have any type of sense of yourself, I didn't watch their video, and I'm not going to watch their video. They threw. Anyway, with that being said, call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, salutations to Yakim out there pushing the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, sincerely and true Shalom.